Good evening, welcome to Red Army TV on the back of what is a 3-1 home win for the Boro on Tuesday night against Hull City. In the couch with me tonight, I've got Woody on the right wing, or the white ring, and I've got Iffy here on the left wing. Iffy, you were at the game last night.
Yep.
In your own opinion, you know, even though it's a 3-1 sort of win, was it a game that you were expecting to see, or was it a game that left you coming away asking more questions?
Yeah, I thought we'd win the game before going. I thought for 60 minutes we played really well, and then I think after that we just sat back and it was a really boring and stale game after that.
In terms of getting to the ground and knowing it was Hull who were suffering badly with form at the bottom of the league, was it a game that you expected to go into where we would potentially come out with a 3-0 win, 4-0 win, or would it have been a difficult game based on Saturday's result against Cardiff?
No, I thought definitely that going in, I thought 3-4-0 was not unrealistic.
I think maybe because in the past, Hull's a big name as well, so people are thinking, oh, it's going to be a hard-fought game, but you've got to really see where they are in the league. They're really struggling, so it was expected. A big win was expected. So really, yesterday was just a decent performance by us. Let's
get on to the good stuff. We scored 3 goals. The first goal, Rudy Gestead, although he was open at the back post and really he couldn't have missed it, you know, for a player that struggled on form and he's coming back from injury, is that a good goal for a player like him to get that will hopefully propel him, you know, going forward into the season? If he?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good for his confidence. I think he's finding his own now, finding his position in the team, getting a good run of games, and hopefully he'll kick on.
Yourself?
Yeah, but I did like Somblonga before. He had this little stutter he's on now, and keeping him on the bench isn't the best. And I think the penalty miss the other week against, I'm not sure it was against, that's given him a big dent in confidence.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's sort of, Rudy's not really done enough for me, especially to warrant a place in the starting 11 the last few weeks. But Tony stuck with him, and it's paid off. He scored 2 last night. Second goal was a very good goal. But in amongst all of that, we did concede from a corner. Should we have conceded a goal like that? Should anybody concede a goal from a set piece as easy as that?
The way it was, like, if you've watched it, I watched it anyway, that was way too easy how the player just got detached from everyone else and just hit it, like, no one marked him, nothing, like, it was just, I think it was poor defending by the Boro.
Was it a moment of concentration lapse? Were we trying to set ourselves up? Because Hull are known to play quite particular direct football themselves, and especially under Nigel Adkins, who likes his set play routines. He did say at the end of the game it's come straight off the training field. Did it come off the training field, Iffy, or was that just it was a lucky goal that he's trying to?
I think we kind of switched off, and obviously he's on the edge of the box, and if there's a man there, he doesn't get the ball. I think everyone was drawn into the centre, and I think it was a poor goal to concede.
Yeah, it was. Paddy finally scored as well. It's been a long time coming, I think.
Performance against Cardiff as well, like everyone was slating him. I didn't really watch the game, but I heard he wasn't the best.
Yeah, I think
so he needed that.
I think he was 6 yards out, wasn't he? And he should have scored, and he didn't.
See, in that situation where you're low on confidence, you're well out of form, he's ran into the box, would you have tried to lift it over the goalkeeper, or would you try to put it round him? You know, if you're on that vein of form, what would you try and do?
Yeah, I think I'd try to put it past him on the side, to make sure.
So he's put himself at risk there of fans jumping on his back for trying to lift it, because we've seen it before. He lifts it and it goes wide or it goes over.
He's got that quality. We've seen it when he had that monster season for us, that very, very good season. So we all knew he's got the quality, but just lately he's been lacking the effort, hasn't he? But the goal yesterday, hopefully it's boosted confidence. Plus he needs to be a bit more central. He's too far left, I think.
Is it effort that he's lacking, or is it because he's been played on that wing and under Karanka in his first season he was up front?
Yeah, you could say it's a position, definitely. Yeah, I don't think it's his favourite position. I think he's there because that's where the manager wants him to play, and that's the job that he's got to do to make sure he's in the team.
End of the day, he's a striker as well, so playing him on the left, no sense in it, but that's Pulis is the man.
Brilliant. Well, that's these guys' views. Let's look at what Tony had to say after the game.
It's a great 3 points for us. I think we deserved the victory, and you know, good things and bad things again. You know, during the game, that can frustrate you, but it's a really good 3 points. You know, that Hull are they've got some good players, and they're well set up under Nigel. He knows the league, and he's got them well set up, and they're difficult to play against. So scoring 3 goals at home and winning, yeah, I'm really pleased. Obviously, we've been a little bit shy in front of goals, so for Rudy to get 2, and he could have had a 3rd one really, you know, the one that's hit the post, he could have come off tonight with a hat-trick. Again, he's missed a bit of the season, his fitness levels are not what you'd really want him to be. Although I thought Patrick was having quite a poor time first half, and then he comes up with that wonderful, wonderful goal, which, you know, will give him a lift. And you know, that's what he needs.
Thanks, Tony, for that. Guys, what he basically says there is Paddy scored a wonderful goal, and actually in the first half he wasn't playing anywhere near the sort of level that Tony expected of him. But like we said at the end of, you know, before we went to the break there was a moment in the game where he looked like he was going to score, but the ball seemed to get mixed up with his legs, and I think Gusted jumped over the top of him, and they got muddled up. If they can work on this partnership and really sort of give it a go, does this mean that Britt's going to be on the bench a lot more, or is there going to be a chance for Britt to come back in? Is Tony going to start switching around as soon as he keeps saying Britt needs to come to the same party that everybody else is at? Does he really have a chance, or are we going to be looking at Rudy and Paddy going forward?
Like, I think, obviously, as we all know, Tony Pulis is one of them where he likes to cement his team. Doesn't want to keep changing over and over again. He doesn't want to like fix something that's not really broken. So I think he's nearly there where he wants to. So for Britt to come back in, he's gonna have to show something like we're not seeing. To be fair, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So when you say that he's got his team there or thereabouts, we've obviously seen Mo Besic come from Everton on loan to the end of the season, and he's gone straight into the squad. You know, and how did he play last night? We'll go Iffy.
Yeah, I thought he had a really good game actually. I thought he's pushing well more forward than Howson and Clayton do, getting us up the pitch. And I felt when he went off, we sat really back and we didn't have that player busting a gut through the midfield.
That's it actually, because the comparison there is Martin Braithwaite before he left in the January transfer window was the same sort of calibre of player. He would try and get the ball, and when he lost the ball, he was chasing it down. Is that something that we're going to see from Mo Besic more? He's going to sort of grasp the ball. And we know he's a defensive midfielder, but last night he really tried to attack.
Yeah, he's not like the standard side to side we've like usually had. And the only game I've seen really of him is Cardiff. Even though we all like the whole team pretty much played like brutal, but as soon as he came on, you could see an attacking threat. So hopefully he gives him he keeps him in the XI for a lot longer than.
I'm not going to lie, I was gutted that he got taken off so early last night. I actually thought when we took him off, as I think when we really went defensive, and if is there something in there when we go defensive like that? There was a good 20 minutes left in the game. We've got 3 defensive midfielders on 5 defenders now, but we're winning 2-1/3-1. Is this the sort of football we're going to see?
Yeah, I think that's the type of football Pulis plays, but I think it's risky football. Because I think he did the same thing against Reading when we were 2-0 up, and obviously that kind of backfired and they got the goal and we were under pressure. So I think it's the way he plays, but I think there's sitting back, but then there's a point in the game yesterday when Rudy Gusted won a header and the ball landed in the centre circle and there wasn't a player anywhere next to it.
It's not my cup of tea, to be fair, like the way he does that. Like, I've realised as soon as we go 2 goals up, you think that's it, let's sit back, let's just see the game off. And then it was against, I think it was Reading or someone, where they got one back. We were like just on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, it was Reading, yeah.
We just need to be more ruthless, I think. After that second goal, we just need to keep going, and just finish teams off. But obviously, like I said before, Pulis is the manager, so.
Well, that's it. Now we won 3-1 last night.
Yeah.
Under the likes of Karanka, we might have scored 1 goal. Would we have scored a second and a third goal? I guess what I'm getting at is it as bad as what people are expecting under Tony Pulis? Is he really going to shut up shop every week? Or is it just the home games that he's going to do that and try and go all out for the away games, which he tried to do against Cardiff? He put 4 or 5 attacking players on. Yes, we were 1-0 down, but is that the sort of thing we're going to see defensive at home, go all out while we're away?
To be fair to Tony Pulis, I did see him yesterday going absolutely berserk on the touchline, telling him push more forward. So I think it might be basically give him a bit more time, let him cement his team and get them playing his way, and then we can take it from there and
Brilliant.
judge
Well,
what
we're going to
football.
take a quick break and make some money, so we'll catch you right after this short break. Welcome back. Before we continue our small talk there on Boro's 3-1 win at Hull, we will go to our social media guru, Mr. Matt Bland, and he's going to tell us what the fans are saying.
Right, let's see what you lot have been saying on social media in regards to the games we've had this week. Starting off with You Are My Borough. They've said, seriously, what is up with some of our fans? People turning on the manager after weeks in the job is a joke. Only a handful of these players will be here next season, so write this season off now and plan for the next. Ian Smith, you've wrote, there's no denying that this would be nice to see Pulis throw on Britton Harrison to try and add to the scoreline, but it's hard to criticise when we've come away with 3 much-needed points. Helen Turner, she said, never let it be said that goal scoring is dead, because up front for the Borough, we've got Rudy Gested, Rudy. And finally, Rob Nichols, Rudy Brace and Banford solo give Hull hell, and there will be a real happiness if we can beat Sunderland on Saturday. Keep your social media comments coming in to us here at Boro Red Army. Back to you, Phil, in the studio.
And that was indeed the voices of the fans. Gents, just to round off then, Hull, should it have been an easier win than what it actually was, if you will go with you?
Yeah. To be honest, 60th minute, I was thinking we're going to batter these 4-5-0, but then it just didn't come. So yeah, I definitely thought it was going to be easy win.
Woody, you the same opinion?
Yeah, but it should have been a lot easier. Like, with the team struggling that much, statistically speaking as well, they bossed us in possession and being an attacking third a lot more than us, but should have made it a lot more easier job than that.
Exactly, and at the end of the day, it's the points that we need.
Yep.
And hopefully, there's enough games left to get us into the playoffs, get us to Wembley and get us back up there. Guys, you're here tonight representing Boro Fusion. Okay. Now, I've got it written down. It was formed in July 2017.
That's right, yeah.
Do you want to give us a bit about what it is and what you're trying to achieve with Boro Fusion?
So like you said, Boro Fusion came together in July 2017. Basically, came as a group for the voice of the BMA community and supporting the borough. Basically, we're a group of committed and passionate fans that really want to show our passion in the terraces and basically make sure there is the voice of the community on the terraces.
When you talk about creating this community, what sort of groups of people are welcome, within Boro Fusion?
Basically, all voices are welcome, all backgrounds, all voices.
And how big is your movement? Because obviously it starts off with one idea, let's get this together and let's create this, but I'm presuming you've gone from strength to strength.
Yeah, our numbers have gradually been increasing. I think we're at about 30 or 40 members at the minute, but obviously we've been going less than a year, so hopefully we're going to gradually try to increase that.
I think it's a brilliant figure to be at, though, considering you've only been going 6 months or so. You've got an event coming up. Now it's on the 7th of April, and it's the Boro home game against Nottingham Forest.
That's correct.
Do you want to tell us a bit about?
Yeah, so basically it's the Mela at the Match is what the event's called, and basically it's Mela translates to festival, so it's basically trying to fuse football with the Asian culture. So we'll have henna artists, I think TFM will come in, we're going to have Mr Silky Skills, so hopefully try to involve the BMA community more in the atmosphere that's around football.
It's brilliant. So that's the 7th of April.
Yeah.
Boro, Nottingham Forest. So the fans can get knowing now because they're going to be picking the designs that they want with the hennas and all sorts.
Yeah, again, there'll be Asian cuisine there, so we'll have samosas, kebabs.
What could be better than coming away from a Middlesbrough win and grabbing a kebab or something on the way home? Because it's going on after as well, isn't it? As soon as the game finishes, it comes back on. Is it till 6:30? Till
6:30, yeah. So it starts at 12:30 till 2:45, and then after kick-off till 6:30. So it's
a bit like 6:30. The pre-party then going to the game, then going back
Yeah.
for that extra bit more in your food to
We
finish
win,
the day
so
off.
everyone will come back, but in a nutshell, Boro Fusion, really, we want to invite you know, like obviously there's a stereotype, there's hooligans, fighting and all that stuff. We just show them that you can actually bring, like, I can have a family day out at the Boro match, enjoy it, and that's literally all we want to, like, show people.
And they've done well recently. They've done their own fan zones outside the North Stand, and they've been really well received. And most recently we had the food bank collection. So it's great that they're opening themselves up to allowing all of this to go on, because it is a family day. As much as people see the Boro and it's that old, we want the fans in. I think it's brilliant that they're doing something like that. So well done to you guys for that. But going on to another fan sort of topic, we had the Red Faction, who had a charity football match at the Southland Centre this past Sunday, I believe it was. And yours truly, Dave Roberts, was refereeing. But I think we've got something to show you, so let's go to that.
Normally on the same side, but not today. Boro's vociferous supporters, Red Faction, split into two to do battle over 90 minutes, but all in the aid of a good cause.
It all actually started out in 2016, where we held our first event, our charity event, which we raised about £5,000 for. So this is just the first part really in our campaign, but yeah, all these lads, and there's one or two lads that were actually out till at 5:30 this morning and have actually turned up drunk to play too, so hats off to them all, hats off.
Lots of testosterone on the field, but it was all about fundraising off it. Red Faction have adopted Teesside Hospice as their local charity, and the game pulled in over £1,000 for the good cause.
We rely heavily on the support of people in the community. We couldn't do what we did without their support, so it's fantastic that they're organised this today, and obviously the charity night which they're doing on the 17th of March as well.
Each player paid to play, some came sponsored, and there was the customary raffle too.
I've got no idea what your names are, all you keep getting called is Fatty, but congratulations. Man of the match, what do you think?
Great mate, absolutely amazing experience.
Hat-trick, where'd that come from?
Don't know mate, new boot, I think. Don't know where it's come from, pulled it from somewhere.
I mean, you guys had to face the might of Fatty here with his hat-trick, what do you reckon?
Oh, phenomenal. You see players like in the pump, like Gaza, always on the B and stuff like that, but I mean, the modern day Gaza right there.
And can you do us a favour? Obviously we need the bottle of champagne, if you can just present that across, and Man of the Match award. Well done fellas.
Cheers mate, appreciate it, thanks boys.
And a fantastic day out, if I do say so myself, although it was freezing cold. Guys, are we in a position now in the league where we can go for playoffs, or do we forget playoffs and try again next season?
Yeah, I think definitely there's, like you said, there's 13 games to go. That's plenty of points. We're only 2 points away from the 6th spot, so I think playoffs is definitely achievable.
Well, let's restart that again and go with this Saturday. We've got Sunderland at home, and Northumbria Police have got something that they want to tell all of us Boro fans.
Grey Teesside skies may sum up Boro's recent results, but ahead of the Derby clash there's a ray of sunshine coming from an unexpected source. Northumbrian Police are promising to brighten the Boro fans' day out at the Stadium of Light as they look to adopt a friendly and approachable policing style.
Clearly we're there for public reassurance, we're there to prevent crime and disorder, so we're there for that event throughout the match, but we will be in normal uniform, really welcoming Middlesbrough supporters to Sunderland for this fixture on Saturday.
So more smiling faces and helpfulness rather than big sticks and batons.
Exactly, definitely is what we're hoping for on the day. That's what our policing stance is all about. It is definitely around welcoming Middlesbrough supporters.
That relaxed, friendly police approach is something that's been welcomed on Teesside.
I think it'll make a real difference. Last time I went to Sunderland myself, wasn't a great experience. I travelled on train, and as soon as we arrived at the station, greeted by rows of police, armoured gear, dogs barking.
I've heard that many times from people that didn't want to go. They wouldn't go to Sunderland again. People saying, I would never take my family to Sunderland. Just the whole setup. It was all about confrontation. It wasn't nice, and that it's fantastic that has been consigned to the past. And I think it's just to be applauded and welcomed.
But there has been change. Last season's rival fans were allowed out of the stadium together, and though there was a police presence, it seemed much more low-key.
Hearing other people's experiences last year, it's tempted me to go back, and hopefully I'll be able to enjoy it like everybody else.
Supporters travelling by coach and minibus are being given a police escort from the riverside, and Northern Trains have put on a football special that will drop off right next to the Black Cat Stadium. But as the good news message spreads, there's also a word of warning.
Please be warned not to bring pyrotechnics to the ground. If you do, you will be arrested. And I know Middlesbrough and Sunderland Football Club take a real firm stance with regard to people using pyrotechnics, and there will be a prosecution that follows.
So there you have it from the horse's mouth. It'll be a smiling, helpful police force that greets Middlesbrough fans at the Stadium of Light when Boro do battle with Sunderland. But the warning has gone out. Those fans trying to take pyros into the stadium will face arrest and prosecution.
So there you go, heed the advice of the police there. Guys, we have run out of time, so very quickly can I get some predictions for our game against Sunderland at the weekend?
Worst team in the league, 3-0.
3-0?
I'm going with a comfy 2-0 win.
2-0, well I'm going to go with 1-0 as the shirt suggests behind you. That's it from us this week. Catch Dave next Wednesday, Red Army TV, 7 o'clock. Catch myself, Mark and Chris on Monday, 7 till 8, only on Facebook Live.